we've changed countries. We're in Iran, or Persia as it used to be known. And if you're ever assailed by doubts about Islam's contribution to the arts, if anyone ever asks you, what have the Muslims done for us? Get yourself here on a sunny day. Hunt down a taxi and head for Gombad e Kavus. Ask there for the tomb of Amor Kavus ibn Vashingir. You can't possibly miss it.
When do you think that was built? 1950s? 30s? The 18th century? The 15th century? The 13th? Actually, it was finished in 1006. It's 1,000 years old. When this was built, William the Conqueror hadn't even been born. The chief religion around here before the coming of Islam was Zoroastrianism. It's still the oldest surviving faith in the world. The Zoroastrians built these tall towers for their dead, on which vultures would swoop and pick clean the corpse's bones. It's a highly efficient avian hygiene. And these Zoroastrian death towers influenced the look and the mood of some extremely unlikely Islamic architecture that's dotted all along the Caspian coast. This spectacular and unlikely tomb was built by a formidable local Renaissance man, Amir Kavus ibn Vashingir, poet, scholar, calligrapher, astrologer, chess player, and ruthless regional warlord. Ibn Vashingir ruled Gombad for 40 years. And when he began to suspect that his time might be up, he built this great mausoleum for himself here on the edge of the Turkoman steppe. It was built to be indestructible. It's 170 feet tall, and there's another 35 feet hidden from sight underground in the foundations. It's a masterpiece of unexpected minimalism, so sparse. Those razor-sharp edges, flanges they're called, go all the way around the building. They're made from desert bricks, and they cut the shadows up into thin stripes and then spend the whole day rearranging them. That's all that goes on here, but it's enough. And I like that cheeky conical cap that tops it off so perfectly. Ibn Vashingir was assassinated 6 years after his great tower was finished. His enemies tied him up in the snow at nearby Gorgon and watched him freeze to death. But he was buried as he wanted to be, his body suspended from the tower roof in a see-through coffin made of rock crystal. There's a tiny window up there, and every time the sun rose, a shaft of light would penetrate the darkness of the tower and illuminate Ibn Vashingir's crystal coffin. I'm not sure I can think of a more exciting way to die. I'm still in Iran, where I've come to the tomb of the Ayatollah Khomeini to gather my thoughts and set myself some priorities. If you can't gather your thoughts here, where can you gather them?
This film has a simple proposition that Islam has given the world some of its most beautiful things. We tend these days to forget that. We tend to let transient stuff, like politics, elbow out the ancient truths. So I wanted to read some poetry in here. British soldiers used to recite this to themselves in the First World War as they marched to their deaths on the Western Front. And our grandparents used to know large chunks of this by heart. It's by the 11th century Persian poet Omar Khayyam, and it captures so perfectly the fragility of Khayyam's times, indeed, of everyone's times. Strange is it not that of the myriads who before us passed the door of darkness through, not one returns to tell us of the road which to discover we must travel too. Yesterday this day's madness did prepare, tomorrow's silence, triumph or despair. Drink, for you know not whence you came, nor why. Drink, for you know not why you go, nor where. Life is short. Sultans, presidents, and ayatollahs come and go. But there's a beauty out there that can always be relied upon. A bigger beauty that Islamic art wants always to reflect and match. This film is about that quest. The trouble is that, like so many things in Islam, this elusive beauty keeps changing. The Islamic Empire was packed with far too many different types of international creative ever to arrive at a consensus. Isfahan, on the hot edges of the Persian desert, was a particularly busy trading city, which everyone tried to grab. For 200 years, it was controlled by the Seljuks. They lost it to the Mongols. Then the Timurids took over. Finally, Isfahan fell to the Safavids, who ruled here in the 16th century, and whose artistic achievements were surprisingly frisky. The Safavids built half a dozen of these ambitious and charming bridges across the Zayende River. These high walls protected the incoming camel caravans from sandstorms and vicious desert crosswinds. The Safavid bridges had two levels. Underneath the camel level, there's a chain of tea rooms stretching across the river where visitors and locals alike have spent 500 years sheltering from the heat, smoking hookahs, quoting Omar Khayyam, sipping tea and keeping their heads down. It's usefully out of sight down here. The tea rooms have special compartments for rent where all sorts of mildly illicit things go on. I've just seen a chap and his girlfriend ensconced in one, and she was puffing away merrily at her hookah, which, in modern Iran, is rather naughty of her. In Isfahan, since the time of the Safavids, a certain amount of Islamic rule-breaking has always gone on, and not just in the tea rooms. The Safavids were the first Shiite rulers of Persia, and their taste in art had about it a transgressive air, a Shiite ornateness. The Shahs of the Safavids were, you feel, instinctive pleasure seekers, free thinkers, and rule breakers. Dancing girls, a pair of them. Who would have thought it? You find them hidden around various corners of Isfahan because the Safavids tore up the old Islamic rule book and wrote themselves a new one. Having made Isfahan their capital, they built it quickly into the grandest city in Persia. This Safavid square out here, Imam Square, is the second largest square in the world. Only Tiananmen Square in Beijing is bigger than this. And the entire perimeter is ringed with great architecture. 2 mosques, a palace, and over there, the entrance to the infamous Isfahan Bazaar, where only a brave man should ever venture. This gigantic pleasure piazza was laid out by the most ruthless and dynamic of the Safavid Shahs, Shah Abbas the Great. He used to sit up on that balcony and watch military parades passing by. And for 400 years, the square was also used as a polo pitch. And these were the 2 goalposts. Opposite his balcony, Shah Abbas constructed a gorgeous mosque for the ladies of his harem. You enter it through a secret passage that winds you round and round till you point in the right direction and face Mecca. Our cameraman, Simon, has been complaining about coming into these gorgeous Persian spaces. He says it's too dark in here. And it's true. The camera can never see what I can see. And it can never fall in love with Persian darkness in the way the human eye can and must. Don't ask me where anything ends in here or anything begins. I just can't tell you. The tile work doesn't really favour solidity. It rises up, 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 and when it gets to the dome, it becomes extra miraculous. Can you see how the lozenges get smaller and smaller and create a tiled whirlwind that sucks you up? The man who designed and calculated this domical effect had phenomenal hand-to-eye coordination and an extreme sense of geometry. Modern Iran, where a woman cannot show her hair or her forearms, where the morality police can forcibly remove your nail varnish and submit you to a virginity test, has had to reach a difficult accommodation with the art of the Safavids. These treasures of Isfahan attract too many moneyed visitors to be locked away. But as you wander amongst them, I swear you can sometimes hear an angry Ayatollah going tut, tut, tut. The most perfectly preserved of the Safavid pleasure gardens is the Chehel Sotoun Palace. It's gorgeous, it twinkles, it's a man-made paradise with birds, flowers, and a sense of enclosure. This is where the Safavid Shahs welcomed foreign visitors and set out to impress them. The glass in the portico was imported expensively from Venice, and it attempts many Islamic tricks with reflections. But it's in here, in the great hall of the Safavids, that the most surprising spectacle awaits you. A monumental Islamic fresco cycle. Now that is a turn-up. The Safavids waging battles. The Safavids throwing ostentatious banquets. Lounging around, listening to music, drinking wine. It's the Persian miniature writ huge and given monumental ambition. This was surprising enough, but then I went in here and I found a painted harem. In 1979, when the Islamic Revolution erupted in Iran. Some fanatics stormed this palace and tried to attack these frescoes, but loyal palace workers stood in front of them and refused to budge. Because, of course, this is Islamic art too, as authentic, as dazzling, as traditional as the sacred geometry. Like all the great art traditions of the world, there's more than one colour, more than one tone to Islamic art. Here's Surah 76 from the Quran, verses 11 to 22. And because they were patient and constant, he will reward them with a garden and garments of silk, and amongst them will be passed round vessels of silver and goblets of crystal, and they will be adorned with bracelets of gold, and the Lord will give them to drink of a wine pure and holy. Verily, this is a reward for you, and your endeavour is accepted and recognised.
All the colors you see here is natural color. That's why, because they use natural colors, it stayed. It didn't fade away.
Phenomenal colours. Phenomenal.
What you see in front of you here is probably one of the finest 16th century Safavid carpet in the world. The inscription that you see around it is a Persian poetry, which relates to the design of the carpet. It talks about flowers, it talks about birds, it talks about the beauty of nature.
Would it be true to say that this is an evocation of paradise in the Quranic sense? That, I mean, people have said almost all carpets have as an ambition this need to convey some of the sensations of paradise, the pleasures of paradise, the mood of paradise.
Yes, you could say that. You could say that.